Am I in trouble? Like I'm so lost right now.
I'm sure you are. Like I said, I can't answer any question right now other than just to tell you that right now you're being detained for an investigation and we're bringing you to the police department. And once you get there, they're going to fill you in on everything.
Am I in trouble? Yeah, you are. Now, one of the most damning pieces of evidence the state has is her, Christina Formella, 30-year-old married special ed teacher that starts, quote, flirty messages. That's not how I would put it. I would call it enticing a minor. But that said, flirty messages over the school app. I see my children on the school app all the time. I have personally met every one of their teachers since they were in pre-K. You think this mom had any idea what was happening? Hellno. But you hear Formella talking as if she has somehow been, quote, done wrong. As a matter of fact, her memoir that she wrote on her notes app in her phone, you have to hear this. Listen.
I once again from day one called your next girlfriend. You're so predictable and disgusting, shocker. You cheated on me with her. All I was to you was somebody to. I'm not upset. I'm not mad. I'm not any of that. I've just lost interest. I went back and screenshotted every single time that I said we should break up until after the wedding and after you graduated. And every single time, you came back and convinced me it would be fine. I initiated every single breakup, only for you to end things saying you couldn't get over it. You ruined us.
Us. You ruined us. Like they have a future, like they're going to get married. Sydney Sumner, explain to me what she wrote. Did she actually say she wanted to, quote, break up with the little boy after the wedding?
Yes, she did, Nancy. She explained that in very good detail for prosecutors in the future as this case goes to trial. She specifically mentioned both this teen boy's graduation and her own wedding, once again establishing that timeline that the rape occurred in December of 2023, almost a year before her wedding. So she references this victim by name multiple times, and in this breakup letter, what this reads as with the teen boy, she also references his new girlfriend's name. So lots of context to establish that this note is about the victim.
Straight out to veteran trial lawyer, defense attorney Eric Faddis. You mentioned earlier, correctly, that the defendant, the special ed teacher, Christina Formella, claims the boy, the little boy, grabbed her phone, put in her code, and sent himself flirty and sex-related messages that he, a little boy, had the wherewithal to think that he would frame her for future blackmail. Now, she's already put that out there, so you, the defense attorney, are stuck with it. You can't just erase that. That's out there. So you can't now look for another defense. You're stuck with her words. Let's just pretend that that's true. That the boy thought, hey, a year from now, I'm going to try to blackmail her and frame her. So I'm going to send her texts from her to me that I can then say, all right, that's a flight of fancy. But Eric Faddis, what about her memoir? What about the notes on her iPhone where she talks about how angry she is he got a new, quote, girlfriend and their future? You know, she claims they only had sex, aka him, one time. But this shows they have been an item for a long time, since before her wedding.
Nancy, the multiplicity of messages here, if authentic, is surely problematic. You know, the defense is going to say that at this day and age, 16-year-olds are pretty technologically savvy. Some of them are more sophisticated than others. And then on the other hand, sometimes they do irrational, erratic, weird things. And perhaps all of that culminated in this alleged act where he tried to text him from her phone to sort of blackmail her. That's what the defense is going to argue. When it comes to the memoir, I think the defense is going to say that there's some murmurs about, at least according to Formella, that references to sexual activity in the memoirs actually relate to the husband and not to
Put him. Oh, wait,
the
wait, I've got to see
15-year-old
his
child.
face. So, what? What did you just say? That everything is about the teen boy, except when she's talking about sex, and then that's about the husband in the same paragraph.
That is what the defense has reported. That is what I've read in reports in terms of what is being referenced in these memoirs. The allegation is that this was kind of an outlet for her anxiety, is how she put it, I believe. And, sometimes people write stuff down and sometimes there's overlap and ideas get conflated. And perhaps that is the direction her defense will go to try to explain what is in this memoir as it compares to the text messages on the iCloud server.
Brian Fitzgibbons joining us, Director Operations USPA Nationwide Security at USPAsecurity.com. Brian, can we believe anything Christina Formella says? You have the text messages back and forth between her and the child victim. You have her memoir, and then you have her and the ability she possesses to put on an Oscar-worthy performance. I want you to watch this, Brian.
Can I ask you
Of course, yeah. It's not, like I said, it's not my investigation. Obviously, we're here for a reason. So go ahead and turn around for me. So right now you're just being detained, and there is a detective that needs to talk to you at the police department. So we'll let your husband know. He can just come to the police department as well if he wants to wait for you there.
I'm like,
I get it. You have a lot of questions.
So scared.
Yeah, everything's okay. We just need to talk to you at the police department. That's all.
I am like so scared. That's nothing. That can't hold a candle to what this boy's mother felt when she saw those messages saved in the iCloud, Brian.
Certainly. And you said it well, Nancy, that the defense has already put out this conspiracy theory that the teen boy was texting himself from her phone. And they're going to have to produce evidence that supports that. All right. Data from the boy's cell phone, other data from her phone, from other minor witnesses that would have seen or heard about this conspiracy. So I don't think we can believe much of what she's saying right here.
Once you get to the police department, you'll talk to the detective and he'll explain everything to you.
But you can't even give me like an idea
At the moment,
what this is about.
Other than that it's an investigation, that's all I can really tell you right now. I'm sorry. I wish I could tell you more.
Excuse me, is my husband coming with?
Yes, yeah, he's taking his phone number down. We're staying in touch with him. We're just going to Downer Grove, so 10 minutes away.
No, I know, but I really would prefer that my husband's with me.
Of course.
May want to rethink that about how your husband learns his wife is charged with sex abusing a boy student. Back to evidentiary issues, I want you to hear one more excerpt from Christina Formella, the special ed teacher's memoirs she wrote in her own iPhone. Listen.
I warned you we should have never started dating a long f***ing time ago, and you gaslit me and convinced me it was fine every single time because that's who you are. We will never ever be together again. I'm not a second choice. I'm the best thing you'll ever have, even with all my mistakes. You once again waited and strung me along until it was convenient for you. It broke me last time. This time, it changed me.
Anna Sonoda, I don't know if you have encountered other child molesters that believe they have a relationship with the child, but that's what this sounds like.
I'm having to hold my tongue over here, Nancy. She is working so hard to justify her own actions, which is classic predator behavior. Dating? She has the audacity to use the word dating. There is no way this is anywhere near dating. This is grooming. This looks like flattery, favoritism, forbidden fruit. You entice a young boy with the possibility of sexual contact. That doesn't mean that he was the mastermind behind her plan. I am just shocked. But I do want to pinpoint some exceptionally positive things about this case. The mom in this case needs a gold medal. She checked the cell phone information, she followed up, she then reported it to police, and the police investigated, and it led to an arrest. That is a best case scenario. Unfortunately, that's a rarity in these sorts of cases, but those individuals deserve recognition for acting on that child's best behalf.